Alright, so in this video I'll be showing you an easy way to remember the unit circle. And so here, this was my attempt to draw the circle. Here we have my coordinate plane, and then this is the circle. And so I'm just going to begin filling out the different numbers. And so first we're going to start with the angles. And here, this quarter of the circle is going to be divided into 3 sections, and same here, 3 sections, and here 3 sections. And so it's this one. And alright, let me pick up a color. And alright, so here I'm going to first draw there and there. So this here, the line for that is going to be pi over 6. So this line right here is going to be, actually let me write it here in different colors so we can differentiate it. And so this is just, here it's going to be pi over 6, and here it's going to be pi over 4. And this line right here is pi over 3. And right here, that is going to be, or this line is pi over 2. Let me go ahead and write here, this is pi, right, this line, and then this line here is 3 pi over 2, and then finally here it's 2 pi. Now we start off at 0, so it's 0 pi over 2, 0 pi over 2 pi, and 3 pi over 2, and then finally 2 pi. So this point right here is 1 comma 0, because it's, well, each in the unit circle the radius is 1. So this is 1 comma 0, and here it's going to be 0 comma 1 comma 0 comma 1, and then this point here is going to be negative 1 comma 0, and then finally here this point is going to be negative 1, no, 0 0 comma negative 1. And so in the ordered pair, this is cosine, this is sine. So in any ordered pair you have, here it's going to be cosine, this is going to be sine. So here we got our first 3 angles, and so the next 3, let me draw it. Right? So here, this line right here is going to be 2 pi over 3. 2 pi over 3. This is going to be 3 pi over 4. 3 pi over 4. And then this line right here is going to be 5 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6. And I'm going to draw so this line right here, let's start here. This line right here is 7 pi over 6. And this line right here is going to be 5 pi over 4, 5 pi 4. And this right here is going to be 4 pi over 3. And this is 3 pi over 2. And then finally, in this last quadrant, this line right here, or no, let's start here because we're moving this way, moving counterclockwise. And so this line right here is 5 pi over 3. 5 pi over 3. Can you see it? Well, let me zoom in. 5 pi over 3. And then the middle line right here is going to be 7 pi over 4. 7 pi over 4. And then finally, this line right here is 11 pi over 6. And finally, we have 2 pi. And that makes up the whole unit circle, just for the lines, the angles inside. And now, if we want to find, I'm going to show you the points. So that's a 1 point, that's a point, that's a point. And so this point right here is, let me zoom in, is square root of 3 over 2. So square root of 3 over 2 comma a half. Now, everything is positive here. As you see, that's positive, positive. And then right here, this one right here is going to be square root of 2 over 2 comma square root of 2 over 2. And then this point right here is going to be a half comma square root of 3 over 2. Now it's going to be the same thing all around for these points, for these points, no, not that, this and this, not this. And then it's also going to be for these 3 points, except we're just going to change the signs, the symbol, plus or minus. So this here is going to be a half comma square root of 3 over 2. This right here is going to be square root of 2 over 2 comma, or square root of 2 over 2. And then finally this one is going to be square root of 3 over 2 comma a half. And here, now the signs, see the x here is negative because we're on this side, so it's going to be negative a half comma square root of 3 over 2. Here it's going to be negative square root of 2 over 2 comma square root of 2 over square root of 2 over 2. And then here it's going to be negative for square root of 3 over 2. Here we're just going to write everything again. It's going to be square root of 3 over 2 comma a half. Here it's also going to be the middle one, which is always going to be the square root of 2 comma square root of 2, 1. There we go. And then this final point, let me just draw a line, is going to be a half comma square root of 3 over 2. Now they're both negative since we're in here. There's a negative x and then negative y since we're going down. So negative, 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 and then negative, negative. And then here it's going to be a half comma square root of 3 over 2. And here let me draw a line. Square root of 2 over 2 comma square root of 2 over 2. And then here I'm going to draw another line. It's going to be square root of 3 over 2 comma a half. Now which one's positive, which one's negative? The x here is positive, but the y is negative since we're down. So the y is negative. Let me zoom out, and here's our unit circle. Always remember these 3 ordered pairs. It's square root of 3 over 2 comma half, and then square root of 2 over 2 comma square root of 2 over 2, and then it's a half comma square root of 3 over 2. And let's see what else. And to find the measured, what are the measure of the angles inside there, not as in pi and like the fractions, it's here. We start at, so let me zoom in. So this, and then, so this right here is 30 degrees. This right here is 45 degrees. This right here, this line is 60 degrees. Then starting, so this is 90, and you give it a plus 30. So then this is going to be 120 degrees. It's 135. So we're going by 15s in here. And the final one here is 150 degrees. Then this right here is 180, because if we start here and we turn all the way, that's 180. Then 180 plus 30, we start here at 210, 225, and then this final line here is 240 degrees. And then we move all the way here, this is 270 degrees, and then you give it a plus 30. This line here is 300 degrees, and then the middle line here is going to be 315. So how am I going to write this? 315 degrees. And then this line right here, this final line, is going to be 330 degrees. You give it a plus 30, this is 360 degrees. So all around, starting from here, all the way, it's 360 degrees. So that makes sense. And there you have it. This is the unit circle, and make sure you replay this video just to get the hang of it, and yep, that's it.